welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and it was the second padded practice of the Titans training camp, so we're going to react to it. There was two main takeaways that I had from practice, and one of them involves the quarterback and the wide receiver, but let's just get right into it. Is this a main cause for concern for the first overall pick, Cam Ward? Because he struggled mightily in practice yesterday. Like, it was really bad. He threw 3 interceptions. And then before practice today, Brian Callahan talked about it. Was like, oh, he takes it in. Like, he doesn't let this get to him. He's going to bounce back even better than before. But he still kind of struggled in practice today. We're going to break it all down. But first, we are getting so close to 11,000 subscribers. So if you want Titans coverage all throughout training camp, next week the preseason begins. We'll see Cam Ward playing against other teams at Nissan Stadium. So if you want coverage for all that, make sure you hit that sub button and subscribe to Titans Today. So here's some notable Cam Ward plays. We did have one, and it was a completed bomb to Calvin Ridley. He fit that right in the bread box between Roger McCreary and another defender, like put it perfectly. But overall, I mean, he overthrew a pass to Ridley. He missed James Prochet on a one-on-one where it was just kind of an easy pass, and he missed him. And then the big one, throws an interception to Roger McCreary, which it was tipped by Cody Barton. And you guys know how much we've talked about Cody Barton throughout this training camp. He's become a leader of this defense next to Jeffrey Simmons. Brian Callahan's impressed by him. Like, this is a guy who's going to lead this team. But Cam Ward, though, another fumbled snap, too. Like, Tuesday's stats were not great. You could see that right here. 11 for 26 and 3 interceptions. And it just looked like he was really getting messed with in his head by the linebackers. So you kind of figured, all right, well, he's going to take this all in and come back and be stronger on Wednesday. Well, he did look good to start practice, but overall, once you get into the team aspects, it's 11 on 11s. Not great. I mean, 11 for 23, that is not a 50% completion percentage. And you saw that interception, which was tipped by Cody Barton and intercepted by Roger McCreary. And just overall, it has not been a good 2 days. The two padded practices where this is where it gets real. You're going 11 on 11, full speed, full throttle, and now we see Cam Ward. And he had things to say about this practice, and he just flat out said it. He said, I think we're very mid right now. And that's not good, because what I say is mid, it's terrible. At the end of the day, it all starts with me. I have to get on the same page with my receivers, watch more film, and be more accurate with the football. It might not be where I want it to be, but he's also throwing to 15, 16 different people every day. And I will say, like, he's been completing passes with every single one of the tight ends, every single one of the wide receivers, every single one of the running backs. And he was pissed off. And after practice, you see this from Jim Wyatt, like, he's spending extra time throwing receivers Elegay Manor, Tyler Lockett, and, of course, his number one guy, Xavier Restrepo, after practice, just trying to get that chemistry, trying to get those reps. And I said this in yesterday's video, just it takes a while. It takes a minute for rookies to get acclimated to actual, and I mean actual football kind of period. The NFL is not college football. You are not at the University of Miami anymore. You are playing against the best players in the world. You're not going up against only 3-4 of those people are going to the NFL. Like, it's going to take some time to get into game speed because it's completely different. And I think Brian Callahan has a plan in place. I think that's the reason why they drafted Cam Ward. I'm not going to go out and say the sky is falling just yet, because we're two padded practices in. Now, if we get to week 10 of the regular season and he's still struggling and he's still not throwing, if he still has a sub 55 completion percentage, 55% completion percentage, that's when you kind of have to look and be like, oh man, did we make a great mistake? But overall, it's going to take time, and I expect Cam Ward to get better over and over and over as the season goes on. So I'll ask you guys, because I still believe in Cam Ward. I still think he was the number one pick for a reason. He's the best quarterback in this draft, and he's going to be the franchise quarterback in Tennessee for a long time coming. Do you believe in him? Go down in the comments right now. Type Y for yes or type N for no. A little bit kind of scary moment for the Titans also in training camp today, and everybody on Twitter was like, I'm not leaving until I get an update, was Calvin Ridley. He left camp for a little bit, and he pulled up on his left calf for cramping. You had this from Teron Davenport. They had to stop practice for a second while he got some attention. He was holding his right calf, but got up, limped off, and not sure exactly what it seemed, but it felt like a calf cramp. And that's exactly what it was. It's nothing serious. Everybody can just take a deep breath because it's okay. Everybody's cramping. It's 100 degrees out there. You're not really into football shape just yet because it's still July. It's okay. Calvin Ridley's all right because they need Calvin Ridley right now. He has been a dog on this offense. He has been connecting with Cam Ward. He's been just showing out every single day, coming to shape over this offseason, looking like this is the most dedicated he's been in probably his entire career. And one of his cornerbacks, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., he saw this. He said this from from Calvin Ridley. I tried to get a lot of those gems and knowledge from Calvin. He's one of the best athletes I've seen as far as movement and route running. I hope I can move like him when I get to that age. And just learning type of things when you're a defensive back, learning from a wide receiver, that goes a long way. But you could see this wide receiver depth chart, like Ridley, Lockett, Van Jefferson, Elliott, and Manor. It is, after Ridley, it's veterans and then rooks. You have Xavier Restrepo, and I think Bryce Oliver is going to be solid. But now with Traylon Burks gone, there's another open roster spot. And that's where I think that it's going to come down to. I think Bryce Oliver was on kind of the, hey, maybe you're outside looking in, trying to make this team. But now that's that, and Burks is gone, I think he's going to make this roster. And I also think that Xavier Restrepo, because he's attached to Cam Ward at the hip like a lost puppy dog. Everywhere he goes, he's following Cam Ward. Like they are together, they are intertwined after practice. If Cam Ward's staying after practice, he's there, and so on. Like, I really think that Restrepo is going to be one of those guys, and we'll talk about him in just a second. But speaking of Cam Ward, if you want to get your jerseys, I know he's having a little bit of bad practices, but that's just practice. You'll see once the game time comes, he is going to be successful, and you can get your jerseys today for 20% off. Yeah, I was surprised they're still on sale. Thought it was only for last week, but I think it's a little back-to-school sale. You can get yours for $104. Chatsports.com/Ward. You can get it in every single jersey color right now. So go to chatsports.com/Ward. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. Now, a couple other takeaways that I've seen, like Femi Oladipo, he didn't really have the best training camp practice yesterday. He was a little slow, but Brian Callahan said once you put the pads on as a rookie, it's going to be a little different. This was their first padded practice. Second padded practice, though, it was getting a lot better. Here's another one from Paul Kaharski, like Jeffrey Simmons, he's been the best player on the field easily. Beat Peter Skoronski and cleaned offensive line, defensive line one-on-ones. Later, Skoronski stood up to Vontae Sweat, and some life from Femi Oladipo. Still a strong showing for the offense, and the favorites won almost all the reps. Like Oladipo, he's getting to the quarterback. He's getting some pressure on Cam Ward, and I think that also has to do with a little bit of just why Cam Ward has been struggling a bit. But overall, you can see Oladipo, just the rawness in his gameplay, because he's only played 1 year of edge at UCLA. He was an interior linebacker, and then they moved to the outside. So it's going to take a little bit of time for him just to learn the position, not only going from college to football, but just going from playing that position in the NFL now. But you see the potential that he has and how athletic he truly is, and it's really showing out on the practice field. Now, the second one, Xavier Restrepo. We talked about him before, and he is turning heads, and it just looks like he's going to make this team. And I really don't think there's any scenario where he doesn't. This is from Parker Kelly, who covers the Titans. He got a little run with the second group in 7-on-7s. He's mostly been involved with the third group. But if you're showing out, your coaches are going to know something. And this is Brian Callahan on Restrepo. There's something about him you can't measure. He has a knack of finding space and getting open. He's like Cam's shadow. And that's where I talked about before, where it's just he's attached at the hip. And I don't see how he doesn't make this team. I said after Traylon Burks was waived, which, by the way, he did not clear. He cleared waivers. No one claimed him, so he's now on the Titans IR. But every reporter said that once he's healthy, they're going to release him. So it still seems like his time at Tennessee is up. But Xavier Restrepo, I mean, he just has that kind of underdog mentality, and some of those small wide receivers like a Julian Edelman, it just feels like that's his type. Like, not your fastest guy, but kind of quickness, who can make the cut, and just strong. Very, very strong. And I just think he really has impressed everybody in this organization, and he's going to be on this team. And my last takeaway is the injury report. I talked about Calvin Ridley and how he's completely fine, but these are two guys that are still not practicing. I'm not really concerned about Cushionberry. It's taken a while for you to come back from a torn Achilles. That's completely okay. But with L'Jarius Sneed not practicing, is he ever going to practice? You signed him to such a big 4-year, like over $70 million contract, and he has not been productive. He has not performed at all. And we heard from him during the offseason before training camp at his summer camp. He said, I'm healthy. I'm as healthy as I've been. Last year, my first year, didn't go as planned, but it's time to come out and show the world what God's been instilling in me this entire year. I'm ready to get back on the field. That's my life. That's what I do for a living. I've missed the whole year and have to remind everybody who L'Jarius Sneed is. And for me, it's like this might just be at this point a lost cause because he says he's healthy, but you're not on the field. And you didn't play last year. You had a quad injury, a nagging quad injury. And then it comes to find out from Mike Morganzi that in May you had a cleanup surgery on your knee. Are you ever going to be healthy? And the Titans need him. I like Jarvis Brownlee Jr. and Roger McCreary, but you gave Sneed all that money to be your starting corner coming over from Kansas City. Like, he looked good. And is he going to play? No one knows, and we have not gotten any updates if he's ready. They say he could be ready, but we have no idea, so I'm getting to the point where it's just like, if he's not practicing, you might have to just figure something out, because if he's on the PUP list past August 26th, he is missing the first 4 games of the year. What's your concern level for L'Jarius Sneed? Scale for me 1 to 10. 10, you are like, what is going on here? And I'm at an 8 right now because he just hasn't been on the field. You didn't see him in OTAs. You didn't see him in minicamp, and now you don't see him in training camp. Go down in the comments right now. Give me a scale of 1 to 10. And while you're down there, also go and hit that sub button. Subscribe to Titans Today. We are giving you coverage all throughout training camp. We got you covered with preseason and, of course, the regular season. So make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, tighten up.